There are 3 words that are written on my phone. 3 words that every time I open my phone, I unlock it, I see those words on my background. No matter what screen I go to on my phone, there's still those 3 words. Remember your intention. Remember your intention. Remember your intention. I think one of the biggest problems people have, not just entrepreneurs but people, is we don't set an intention, we don't have an intention, we don't know what our intention is. And then for those of us who do, we just don't remember them. We're not consistent in remembering what we're doing and why we're doing it. Like, how many times have you gotten to the end of a day or end of a week and felt like you did so much, but it didn't, nothing seemed to move? You ever got there? You got to the end of the week, it's like it's Friday. It's been a really busy week, but what did I actually get accomplished? And it turns out not a heck of a lot, because there wasn't a lot of intention. I remember meeting Tom and Brendan at an event in Puerto Rico at Brendan's home, and we're actually going to all connect again in Napa coming up soon. And Brendan challenged me on the first day to say, hey, remember why you're here, and you have to ask a question. He says, your problem is you're always giving too much. I mean, it's giving, it's great, it's not too much, but you're always giving, you're always in giving mode. You're always sharing with people how they can grow their channels and have more, you're always sharing. You need to ask. I need you to ask. You have to make sure that you sit here and you ask. So when we do our roundtable, and I was really insecure, there's so many big names at that meeting. That first one was Tom and Lewis Howes and Jay Shetty and Russell Brunson and Dean Graziosi and Brendan Burchard and Jamie Kern-Lima, who just sold their business for $1.3 billion, and all of these highly successful entrepreneurs. I'm sure I'm missing a whole bunch of names. And I felt like, what am I going to bring to the table? I mean, I'm going to teach Brendan Burchard how to believe in himself more, right? I mean, it didn't feel like I deserved to be there. And so I was really insecure about it. And Brendan, I got there early. I was the first one there on the first day. And Brendan found me and said, hey, just make sure your intention today is you're going to give by default. So that's fine, but you need to ask for something. That helped a lot. That shifted my intention away from just being insecure about how to bring value, and also ask, hey, what do I need? What do I actually need out of this? If I had one question that I could ask all these successful entrepreneurs, what would it be? And that allowed me to ask a better question, because I showed up with more intention. And so I want to give you the tools in this video to live a more intentional life, and just try to, nobody's going to be 100% consistent. So how can you stay as consistent as possible? So we're going to look at 3 different phases. There's 3 different versions of it, okay? Step number 1 is an intentional life. So we're looking macro now. What does an intentional life look like for you? What does that mean? When I say intentional life, what does that mean? What kind of life do you want to live? What are your ambitions? What are your aspirations? What are your desires? What are your dreams? What are your goals? What is an intentional life? Like, if you could actually plan your life, where do you want to be spending your time? You don't want to be on a beach all day long. You don't. Nobody does. You want to feel like you're doing meaningful work. So what does that look like? What do you look like as a human, as a father, or as a mother, as a husband, as a wife, as a son or a daughter, as an entrepreneur, like all the hats that you wear? What does an intentional life look like for you in terms of the habits that you're doing, right? What does intentionality look like for you? What does success look like for you? And getting clear on that, because when you have a map, it's a lot easier to then start to live it. When you don't know where you're going, you're wandering all over the place. So what is when I say that, what does an intentional life look like to you? What comes to mind for all the different hats that you wear? And the 3 easiest buckets are the relationship, the career or finance, and then your health. Those are usually the 3 buckets that things fall into. So what does an intentional life look like for you? Step number 2 is, what does an intentional calendar look like for you? So now that we have our life ideas in mind, what does that translate to on a daily basis? So for example, in my life, Monday's my mentoring day. I mentor the people that are on my team and that I've invested into their businesses. Tuesday is my YouTube day. Today's a Tuesday, I'm filming. Tuesday, I'm doing all my YouTube stuff. I film videos, I look at my strategy, look at all my content, all the experiments and thumbnails and tests that we're doing, new ideas, that's Tuesday. Wednesday is project day, and I get to pick a project that I want to work on. It might be my book, it might be Movement Makers, it might be Brandlytics, it might be whatever project. I could just be creative and spend the day working on that project. I think having forced creativity in little chunks is hard. I think to be creative and to make something special, you need blocks of time. So that's Wednesday. Thursday is my public facing day. That's when I do interviews and podcasts and Skype calls and whatever to help promote the business. People want me on their shows, and so that's all packed on a Thursday. I do my movement makers on a Thursday. I do my brandlytics on a Thursday. I need to show up for the public, so it's extrovert hat on and let's go beat the drum of believe. Friday is my CEO day, and that's where I work on the big projects to grow my business. There's nothing scheduled on a Friday. It's basically big, like Wednesday with the project day, but more like, hey, where am I trying to go? What do I want to accomplish? What's missing in my business, in my life? And just giving me, again, even more freedom instead of structure to think about where I want to go. Saturday is fun day, and Saturday is the day that I spend with Nina, my family, and whatever we want to do. No chores, no admin. It might be hiking, it might be a new restaurant, it might be some festival. I'll usually plan an entire Saturday full of fun for us to do. And then Sunday is family admin day. Costco, grocery shopping, cleaning the condo, laundry, like all the stuff you have to do as a human. But it's not on Saturday, right? We're not going grocery shopping on Saturday. Saturday's fun day. And then it all repeats and goes back to the same schedule on Monday. That's an intentional calendar for me. So it's an intentional life of how I want to live, and then the calendar is set up so that if I did these things, will I get closer to achieving the life that I want? Success is the habits. You can have goals, great, but where in your calendar are you going to focus on achieving your goals? So when you set up your intentional life, great. Now let's create a calendar so that those things are there. If you have health goals, well, where are you going to be exercising and working out? Where are you going to be spending time to go buy the healthy food and to cook the healthy food that you want to be eating instead of not exercising and eating McDonald's every night, right? Because if it's not in your calendar, you're not going to do it. You can have the best intentions, but if it's not in your calendar, you're not going to do it. So you have to put it in your calendar in a realistic way that you can stick to. And it's possible, we're just not doing it. And so it remains as some goal. I want to make content. I want to make a YouTube channel. Great. Where in your calendar are you spending making YouTube videos? And until it's in your calendar, it's not going to happen consistently. It's going to be too much off the whim of, oh, I just feel like doing it today, so I'm going to do it. If you wait till you have time to do something, you're never going to do it. So you have to schedule it in intentionally. So level 1 of intention is intentional life. Level 2 of intention is an intentional calendar. And then level 3 of intention is an intentional day, and even moment by moment in the day. So before I make videos today, I'll ask myself, what's my intention for this activity? Why is remember your intention on my cell phone? Because I want to start the day looking at my calendar and seeing, how do I want to show up? And when I look at each individual task, I ask myself, how do I want to show up? How do I want to show up for this video? I want to show up inspired. I want to help people believe in themselves more. I want to create one of the best videos I've ever made. I want to have energy. I want to pour light into people. So that's the intention. If you even just talk out the intention before you do the thing, you'll show up better. You'll show up different. You'll show up with that energy that you wanted, especially when you have to switch to something else. 2:30, I'm going to spend time with my wife, and we're going to go for a walk, take the dogs. Now it's nice sunny day here in Toronto. We're going to go for a walk, and that requires me to switch intention. Then I'm going to switch back to making more videos. Then I'm going to spend more time with Nina over dinner. Then I'm going to spend time with my son. We're going to do some Minecraft. It requires, if I'm thinking about YouTube videos while I'm having dinner with Nina or playing Minecraft and hanging out with my son, I'm not present for them. I might be there spending time, but I'm not really there. You can spend hours with somebody watching a movie or lounging watching Netflix, but never actually connect with them, versus a 25-minute walk together could be much more connection than most people have in a week. So in order to do that, you have to switch the gears and just remind yourself, what's my intention for this? And that could take 10 seconds. It doesn't have to be this 30-minute activity every time you switch tasks. Just, how do I want to show up for this? When I have dinner with Nina tonight, how do I want to show up? I'm now making YouTube videos. I'm showing up as Entrepreneur Evan, changing lives, spreading belief, spreading hope, inspiration, positivity, let's go. When I show up for 5 o'clock dinner with my wife, how do I want to show up? I want to show up as a caring husband. I want to be supportive. And just asking myself that question forces me to be a better husband when I show up for dinner, as opposed to still being in YouTube mode. Right? See the difference? And so it's an intentional life, then it's an intentional calendar, and then it's an intentional day, and even intentional moments inside the day. So you can look back and say, I did 5 different things today, and I showed up for all 5 of those as I wanted to show up. And nobody gets it perfect. I still don't get it perfect. But even just the reminder and the aim to get better leads you to having a much more intentional life, successful life, and most importantly, happy life.
If you want another Evan Rant video that just might give you the confidence you need, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
The key to being persuasive is passion. The key to getting people to follow your ideas, to believe in what you're doing, to sign up, to say yes, is your passion, is your energy, is your conviction, is your belief